Drake dropped an album, guys. I don't know if you heard about it or not, but there is a new album by Drake, and it's called, honestly, Nevermind. 14 tracks. I'm almost certain that 13 of them are completely house tracks. I listened to this whole album, and I believe the only rap song is Jimmy Cook's at the end with 21 Savage. Maybe Liability, I'm not sure. I don't remember. I thought they all were house except for that one. But let somebody mess around and call me out, and then I'll be looking crazy. But end of the day, intro, fallback, text go green, currents, a keeper, calling my name, sticky, massive flights booked, overdrive, downhill, the tie that binds, liability, and Jimmy Cooks featuring 21 Savage. It is a full-length LP that no one saw coming. And Drake just dropped it out of nowhere, no lead single, nothing. Boom, just bam. Here it is. Take it or leave it, right? And he put the video up, I believe, at the time, I believe it's at 9-something million views in only a few days. I believe it's like an 8-minute video or something crazy like that. And oh no, this is a different. It's the one. Yeah, he's marrying. It's like, no, it's not that one. It's not 8 minutes, but he's marrying like 23 females, and it's all this kind of, it's just shenanigans going on, right? And I want to talk about it. It's 52 minutes long. I want to talk about it. So I want to say this about this album, right? First things first. There's a lot of mixed reviews. People didn't know what to expect. I'm getting, I love it, and I'm getting, this is the worst trash. What was this guy thinking? And it's all in the middle. First of all, if you telling me it's all house, then that's what it is, right? I wasn't even going to hear it. Not even that. I listen to everything. I listen to everything Drake puts out because I'm part of this hip hop culture, so I listen to it, right? And some of the stuff I find it to be cool. I'm a hip hop head. Like, I'm hip hop, bro. Backpack with the hoodie, like, that's me. That's how I grew up. I raised on hip hop. Harder the better, but the more thinking the better, and the more concise. I like consciousness. I like everything hip hop. There's not a style of hip hop that you can make that I don't like to some degree if it's done well. Party rap, I have no problem. Right? When I was younger, I had an issue. Oh, this the shiny suit rap. This. You know what I'm saying? I had a part. Oh, you got the linens on. Oh, you sexy. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had a lot of problems with commercial rap, right? We hated Hammer. We hated Diddy. We hated everything soft and every commercial thing, even though parties would jump when you threw on some Tone Loc or Digital Underground or Young MC, MC Hammer, parties would jump. Vanilla Ice, sad to say, they would jump. People get up there, they start damming it, doing the prep and the Running Man, you know what I'm saying? And it was, for a time, it was good, right? And at one point when I was younger, when we were really, really into rap like that, we was dissing commercial rap. We didn't have nothing good to say about it. And I remember physically being completely just annoyed when Mason was running the game. Like Mason Diddy running the game, that was like a bad nightmare. To me at the time, that was a bad nightmare. New York had these two guys running everything. It was a nightmare. I'm like, where the real spitter? He got one dude writing the rhymes for the other one, and this one doing he's doing the freaking Harlem Shake. I'm like, what is going on? We couldn't process it. We had nothing but contempt for it, right? But I grew out of that. And I understood that we needed everything. We needed everything to make this thing what it is. It ain't just KRS-One and Rakim just spitting bars nonstop. You needed an eclectic view of this thing or it was going to die. That's why we got Run DMC doing mainstream songs with Aerosmith, making the biggest rap record in the history of rap with Walk This Way, right? And I love that record. I bought the whole album. I bought everything Run DMC did. So I was a guy who learned, right? It ain't just LL Cool J with the radio box. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just about that. It ain't about the guy coming and crashing the radio, the label meeting and you know, crashing the show with the box and he just slamming, you know what I'm saying, just busting around. Like, we had to learn, no, some of this stuff you got to polish it up, you got to shine it up, right? Clean it up, make it palatable for people outside of your genre, so you can bring. You're not gonna have DMX if you don't have Run DMC going platinum first, right? They'll never get there, right? Does any of that make sense? You need something. You need MC Hammer to have a Redman. You need them both. So I learned, stop being so hard on the mainstream music. Embrace some of this stuff that's not as aggressive as you think it should be, right? And with that being said, I learned to take stuff for what it's worth. And I learned to lighten up on Diddy and even to like Diddy's stuff after a while. And I'm using Diddy as the poster boy, but there's a lot of dancey, just a lot of commercialized music. Everything got turned into, it was taken from the grittiness, and they would go loop something that was hard. They would go loop Beat Nuts and give it to J-Lo. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we had our stuff, for lack of a better term, gentrified for years, right? And all I'm saying is, I could digest it after a while. And then that means a Drake comes along, I was able to digest it, right? And I liked quite a few of his releases. Even the ones when people didn't like. I'm going to be honest, I like Views. You're not even supposed to say that if a rapper's not even supposed to say that. You're not even supposed to admit that you like Views. You're supposed to listen to it quietly. Shh. Make sure you look through the blinds. Make sure nobody looking at you. Because you're supposed to anti stuff when you this hardcore rapper, or you into this, you a real hip hop, or you just spitter, you a lyricist. You're not supposed to like Views and records of that ilk, right? You're supposed to wait for him to spit and then jump up and down and applaud that. When he airs out Meek Mill on Back to Back, then that's the one you get up at the party. It's your girl tour. Like, you jump up and that's the one you can celebrate, right? You can't jump up when he's doing, Find Your Love or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to sit down and make a mad face and be like silent and wait for that to pass. Get some potato salad and wait for that to go off. Because you can't be too whatever with this stuff. But I'm not like that, so I understand. And I say all that to say this. A lot of people are accusing people of my ilk of being biased to this album because we don't get it. All we want is hardcore rap hip hop. Man, you can't be talking to me. Not the guy who had Sade on repeat back in 1992. You're not talking to me. That all I want is hardcore rap all day. You can't be talking to me. Who had Anita Baker on repeat, right? I'm the wrong one. So you can't accuse me of not knowing what I'm talking about. When I'm down in Baltimore, because I lived in Maryland and D.C., listening to Baltimore House, going to clubs to hear that all night. So you're not going to tell me I don't know about house. You're not going to tell me that. So there is no bias about Drake having a house album and I wasn't ready for it and I couldn't understand. I'm getting all these different comments about how you don't get it, or he even tweeted, "Oh, I'll wait for you guys to catch up. I'll wait for you to catch up. You're not there yet. We'll be here when you're ready." Like, who can't catch up? This ain't nothing but house music. You ain't reinventing. Who late to the party, right? So I want to say all that to say this is a house music album. Drake is a rapper. So no, yes, of course you threw people off with this, right? Because it ain't like you did a whole album of eclectic stuff. You did one genre. You did all house. And like my man Fliz said, he got 8 songs and then was hurting his head after a while. Because to me, a whole house album, right? If you're looking for house, is great. It's amazing, right? And I didn't even give my opinion of the house itself yet. I just said, if you're looking for house and you stumble on this and this is a house artist, you just hit the gold mine. Oh my God, it's so amazing. Yes. But you're talking to rap fans who put this guy up on a pedestal because of his rapping. And you're telling them to eat this house album. They're not willing to do that. And they don't have to. So that's why they're saying it's trash. And this generation is harsh, bro. We giving you half a listen. We listening to the first 3 for not me per se, but this generation itself. They're giving you one song these days to say your album is trash. They're giving you nothing. They'll say your album trash without even hearing it, just based on your last word. Stop me when I'm lying. When I'm lying, you click the phone off. When I'm lying, you cut my video off. They will stop. They won't even listen to your album and call it trash. Tell me I'm lying. It happens every single day. You'll see people saying stuff trash before stuff even drop. Tell me I'm in the comments where I'm lying. When I start lying, you go in my comments and air me out. So you're in a society who's going to diss you before you even drop the music. So then when you drop it and it ain't what they wanted it to be or they expected, that's that word, you expected this or you expected that. So you were disappointed. Yes, they expected a certain level of what you normally do. Yeah, they was gonna accept a little bit of singing here and there, but it's like Drake stuff is 50-50, right? It's 50 singing, 50 rapping, or even more singing. But people have come to accept that, right? Right? They've taken it in and they've accepted it. They'd never heard this house stuff before from you. So they're rightfully confused. Now, a lot of people that are real Drake fans, they didn't need but 2 bars to be all in. The very first track came on, whoa, it was all in from the beginning to the end. The last song, they was like, yup, classic, right? I had people telling me I was on vacation, people texting me, it's classic. I'm like, I highly doubt that if it's all house, but okay, I'll take your word. I was not even going to listen to, when they told me it was all house, I was like, oh, I'm good on that. Not in bad or good. I just don't go around listening to house music. Now, I used to, like I said, I used to go to house, you know how many years ago? 30 years ago. I used to go listen to dance to house parties, and I'd go to parties and dance to house music all night. I don't do that no more. I don't play it. So if you tell me Jay-Z and Kanye, Watch the Throne 2 is going to be all house music, I'll be like, I'm good. If I'm reading on Twitter that every single song is a house song, like every single song, like the Jay-Z and Kanye return and it's all house, I'm all set. Right? So that's me, and that's apparently a lot of other people. So we're being asked to just embrace it just because it's Drake. And somebody told me they believe Drake thinks he can do anything he wants to do. And it's kind of true. Because no prep, you just dropping this on people, it's Nevermind, honestly. Like, you just drop it, boom, it's out. Go get it. Love it. And then when they don't love it, you're going to tell them, oh, I'm going to wait for y'all to catch up. Y'all ain't up on this yet. That's stuff you say when you think you're ahead of everybody. Like, man, you ain't even up with me. I'm doing this. You don't even know what it is yet, right? And I get it. He's supposed to feel like that. But at the end of the day, I also think he feel like he can do anything he wants. I believe this guy thinks he can put out a freaking, just a banjo, him and a banjo, and it'll sell. And it will, which is sad. But end of the day, we don't have to eat it. Some of us, like me, could just not listen to it at all. All right? But I have another show, and it's called Clash. And it's called Clash, the rap podcast, and we were going to discuss the album. That is literally the only reason I listen to it. I listen to the entire album. Right? With wifey in the car. She's like, I like these beats. She liked the beats. But she loves those beats. Almost on anybody can put them beats out. She gonna love it. But my wifey don't buy albums. She don't listen to whole albums. She gonna listen to stuff here and there. But she's not a consumer like me and other people who want to hear an entire body of work. And as an entire body of work, here's where I get into the actual product. I was not going to listen to it, but I did. And when I listened to it, right, I'm as chill as the next man. I could sit and listen to something that is calming and relaxing, right? So it's not a thing where I need to have all this chaos and all this boom bap and snares and cracks and 808. I don't need everything to be all hard. But what I do need it to be, right, is not thin. I feel like I've made a lot of beats in my day, right? I haven't made beats in years. But if I wanted to just jump into house music and make some beats, I feel like these are the beats I would make because I'm inexperienced in it. It's not my thing. I don't make house beats. I don't make house music. I don't even listen to house music to know what's popping. Because I'm sure it has changed somewhat. I'm sure the basics are there, but I'm sure they do things a little differently. When I listen to this album, and I know I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert on house, but I am an expert on good sounds. And it sounded a little thin to me. The production sounded like it was minimal house. It didn't seem like a lot of, I'm going to go on a gamble, and I'm going to go on a gamble. This is a unsubstantiated claim. I have no reason to believe this outside of my own hearing. I think they put that album together in the last 2 weeks. This is just me. I feel like that album was they might have even started that album after Kendrick dropped. I'm just throwing it out. I could be wrong. He could have been working on this for a year. It don't sound like it. This sound like they had a good night in Ibiza or somewhere, and they was like, you know what? They was doing, you know what? Well, you know what? Bro, say it, bro. We should do a whole house album. Really? I was thinking the same thing. Like they was just out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere, drunk, just like one shot, 2 minutes. Like, yo, the world needs this. Like, just like on some. And I think that they put this together in about 3 weeks and just put it out. I really don't think it was a lot of time on this album. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong. This could be a labor of love. But I'm not saying it's bad or good because, again, I don't listen to house like that. I know what it sounds like. I know what it's supposed to sound like. But I'm not every day in the trenches of house. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to tell me in a hip-hop trench, I'm all day. I can tell you whatever. But I'm not all in the trenches of house music. But it does feel a little bit thin, production-wise. And it don't take no genius. Like, you could put on some speed metal right now. And I'd be the first to say, I don't know the first thing about speed metal. But I can tell if it's well-produced. And I can tell if it's heavy or thin. Right? Feels a little thin to me. The production feels a little, what do you call it when it's like you're trying to be minimal, right? It's very minimal. Now, when I do hear really big house producers, they got a lot going on in them songs. They'll have a lot of little samples and a lot of little things that the beat will stop and they'll come and do da da da. It'll be like it'll switch up. It's a lot more going on. This one, like I said, sounds like a guy that not really that inclined with house, but he can make a beat out of anything. So they made the little the synths part, and then they put the beat behind it, and they're like, let's go. They put the beat, put whatever little stuff in there, boom, 20 minutes, let's go. Aubrey, this track is going. We waiting on you. As soon as you get out the shower, the booth, let's go. What are you doing, right? So I think that it could have had a stronger presence with the production, right? I'm not by no means saying this album is trash or not trash, right? I don't even have the authority to tell you whether it's trash. What I want to say is that on a hip-hop level, and I'm going to grade this on a hip-hop level, the assignment, this is not the assignment. So I can't even give this a grade. Now, I have to be honest with you. If you scroll down in my feed on my review channel, I have reviewed albums that are not strict. I do mostly 96% hip-hop reviews. But I have reviewed Donald Glover's album. I reviewed XXXTentacion's album. I reviewed probably 2 of Tyler, the Creator's albums. And I gave them all good grades, right? For their alternative sound. So I would be disingenuous to say I can't grade this because it's not hip-hop. That's not true, right? All of those albums I named had elements of hip-hop, but they weren't by no stretch pure hip-hop albums. Even the Mac Miller album I graded. is not a pure hip hop album. So I can't be like, it's not pure hip hop. Right? But on a level of music, I could listen to Tyler, the Creator. Tyler, the Creator, Igor? It's a masterpiece. Right? Donald Glover's last one was a masterpiece. I even like XXXTentacion's album. I believe, what was it called? 17 or something like that. So on the level of it's not being full all rap, that's not my problem. My problem is what is here, even though it is all house, I can't listen to this over and over. But that's just me. That's not to say it's not good or bad. On my end, I can't listen to me going back to listen to this is almost a goose egg. Right? Like I said, I like Views. I would listen to Views over this. It's my personal opinion. I'm sure somebody gonna get mad. What's your problem? This is a classic. Drake just he blessed you. Like somebody gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't know how to receive blessings. Somebody's gonna have an issue. But me going back to this, I couldn't even make it through the video. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just not, maybe I ain't caught up yet. I do know this. On Sunday, when I'm at brunch, this is all I want in the background when I'm taking shots. Put that Drake on. Let's go. Turn it up. Because I don't be listening to that stuff anyway. I'm just drinking. I need some good vibes in the back. So put it on, falling back, text go green. Let it play. Let it go. Bring the shots. Like, we going, bro. Like, we going with my eggs. I got the French toast and the hash brown. Like, bring it. I need it, right? But if I'm not at brunch having a good time, I'm not going to be in my car listening to this, right? I'm sorry to tell you. Now, does that mean it's good or bad? No, it doesn't. And I don't even know. So I'm going to be honest. I don't even have a grade. I might have to put NA for this grade. This might be the first time in 5 years of me doing reviews that I might have to say, I don't have a grade for you. Because I don't even know what the assignment is. Right? I don't know what the assignment is. If you're giving me house music from beginning to end, and that's what you're telling me this is, I don't have an assignment. I can't give you a grade on that. At least Tyler's stuff was all kind of meshes of music that when it melted together, it made a pot of good. It was good vibes that it kept you engaged. It kept you engaged. It was up and down. It was all kind of emotions. It was different things. This sounds like all the way through, it's like he having a long conversation with some chick. That's just sitting there with her legs crossed, like she's listening, but then like he likes when I ignore him. Like, you know, it's like, so, I'm like, what is happening? Like, there isn't much there. It's mad like it's one long love letter. It doesn't divert too much from just talking about whatever relationship he's trying to get in or out. So it's like, it's not much there. So I can't give you, as a matter of fact, I don't have it's an NA. What they do when you go to school and you supposed to take the class and you missed it or something, whatever, it's not applicable. It's not a zero because he did work, he put some work, you know what I'm saying? So not a zero. I don't know what they do in college when you have a course and maybe you didn't do the last, I don't know what they call it, but it's something like, I have no grade for this because the assignment is not what I was expecting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Drake put an album on. Oh, he got some music. Okay, but it's all house. What? How do I cope with that? I have a lot to say about it, but I don't have a final. I can't say it's good or bad because this isn't my cup of tea. Right? And I'm gonna leave it at that. You let me know what you think in the comments. Is he being unfairly judged? Should we let him be an artist? That's what a lot of people are saying. Let him be an artist. You're trying to keep him in a box. This is the problem with rap. Rappers always want you to stay in a box because it's a box. It's called rap. That's a box in and of itself. My whole thing is, if you're an entertainer and an artist, and your whole thing is, I don't want to be boxed in, but then you put a whole house album out. Make it make sense to me. You're not gonna put me in a box. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be me. Like, then it's just all house. A literal box. I need to be free. I'm gonna do a whole album full of house music. It makes no sense to me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let you tell me what happened. Good, bad, or indifferent, right? And I just did a video about the numbers with him and Kendrick, which is a whole other story. Check my channel out for that video. But I'm gonna catch up on the flip side, man. We need to come to a consensus because I'm confused. All right? CLBMG.com, check that out. EssentialVarieties.org, check that out. And every Wednesday night, we got Clash, the podcast, on all of my social media channels, all CLBMG podcast channels. It goes live at 8 o'clock. Clash, the rap podcast. We talk about all things rap. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.
CLB.